Who wants to be a Melvinaire? It's a manhood movement, constant elevation. Every day we improving. 7 p.m. on Wednesdays, I think you should tune in. It's more than a podcast, it's a family reunion. Melvinaires. My nigga Mel up in here. You know Rome, he the plug, no telling who might appear. Could be one of your favorite rappers, community activists, businessmen and women to the shooters and savages. Melvinaires. Yeah, we Melvinaires. Yeah, we Melvinaires. Yeah.
Yo, mic check, 1 2 1 2. It's the almighty Melvinaire Podcast, man. We back in the building one time. Give it up, no doubt. I'm your host, Rome the Plug. We back in the building one time. We got a special guest in the building. Big shout out to the team first, man. We no Bruce Wayne today. Bro taking care of some business, man. I hope you feel better, man. But we got the guards in the building. Of course, we got the bro, Billy Ray Valentine in the building. Shout out Philly.
What's up, Brickyard, Philadelphia? In the
Already
building.
shout out Philly, man. A special guest in the building. We got the bro, Wayne 0300, live and direct. Peace to the God, man.
What it do, family?
Already, man. Already. And introduce yourself, Queen.
How y'all doing? I'm Rashida.
Already. And we got the bro. Introduce yourself, bro.
The infamous B-Bars.
There we go. We got B-Bars in the building. So, yo, boom, both our brother. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? Like, going back from there, man. So, like, yo, like, I just admire, like, so from the day I met, bro, I'm like, damn, yo, I fuck with these niggas, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, yo, I fuck with these niggas, man. So, like, yo, having Boom here, man, like, yo, Boom, like, my older brother, man, like, he bring me back to earth a lot of times, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, sometimes, yo, he call me randomly sometimes, and, he just throw a bug in my ear, and I be like, damn, yo, I needed that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I needed that.
Mm-hmm.
And, yo, like, an extension, like, it's all line love, of course, you know what I mean? So,
Absolutely.
and then, our paths, like, like, we just, this small to more, man, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, of course, my lady was friends with y'all, you know what I mean, was for a while.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until, like, me and her crossed paths, and I'm like, damn, Wayne too? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn. So, like, it just ended up working out like that, man. So it's like, yo, you was due. I was like, yo, I gotta get you on. Like, every time I seen you, I was like, yo, I gotta get you on the podcast, bro.
Yeah. You definitely.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, bro, I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate your energy. You know what I mean? I appreciate your presence. You know what I mean?
Much love and respect,
Absolutely.
always, bro. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, man. So, this was titled Hometown Heroes, man. So, like, I want you, before you even get started on anything else, before you even get anything else, I want you to let the people know how you out here feeding these families out here in these streets.
Okay, cool. So, you know what I mean? First of all, I didn't start off doing this on my own. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I grew up in a family full of activists. My mother, shout out to Carmen Alexander, my father, Donald Alexander, they were big activists in the community. And they worked side by side with folks like B. Gaddy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, for us when we was young, it wasn't the most popular thing to do. When we was kids, we wanted to rip and run the block.
Right.
You know what I mean? With our friends on Saturday mornings when we had to get up and go feed homeless folks.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So, and growing up with that mentality, it was always a part of me, regardless of what I was doing. That I had to give back. You know what
Absolutely.
I'm saying? So, even still, with growing up in that world, we grew up under a few of the master teachers like Dr. Clark, Alvin Van Sertima, like Dr. Gardner Taylor. Like, it was just a whole lot of just different big major black influences that came across us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When we were kids, because my mother always brought in these folks to do these lecture series and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
So you got to hear these lessons live, and you got to hear these from the teachers in the flesh.
No, absolutely. You know what I mean?
My
mother
God.
still got a lot of tapes. I be trying to get her to, like, air them, get them aired and stuff but she always worried about,
God,
you know
bro.
what I mean?
That is
All of the
gold.
copyright stuff and all this. She did them in Coppin State University before, it was redeveloped and what it looks like now. So you see a lot of the old school, OGs, man, that's in a lot of those films and stuff.
Yeah.
So, and it really didn't hit me what kind of people they were until, I was on the stage at the Million Man March.
Okay.
My mother was one of the organizers for the Baltimore sector. You know what I'm saying? So to getting the people on the bus and getting them there, you know what I'm saying? And moving around with her, I came to find another respect for them. Because, all of the stuff that we were doing in our time, we would look at them like they were outdated and they didn't this and they didn't know that. And you know what I mean? We was growing up, the hip-hop era was hitting real heavy. So it was a line drawn in the sand between our generations.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, but, with all of that organization, the morning of the Million Man March, when I was standing on that stage and the sun came up and I turned around and seen millions of black people out there. It set us right in the middle of like the civil rights movement.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So a lot of that stuck with me down through the years, regardless of the time that I had to spend in the streets trying to survive.
Right.
Because regardless of your education, we still had to feed ourselves.
Absolutely.
I was crazy educated, but at the same time couldn't get a job. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Father fell off into the drugs. He got strung out. Got an older brother with a disability.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Younger sibling. My Desi, my younger brother. You know what I mean? But at the same time, my mother took on other family members' kids who couldn't take care of their own. You know what I mean? When times got hard, I'm not gonna say nobody couldn't take care of their children because times got hard. And we got cousins that grew up with us.
Right.
We got, you know what I'm saying? So
Right.
stuff like that. So and as we evolved, I got cool with certain people who I recognized that had a straight business minded folk in the middle of the hood, and that one of the person was Rashida. It's just that when we was young, I couldn't get her involved in nothing we was doing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because she was just that serious.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Growing up in the high school, and you know what I mean?
Yo, but let me commend y'all real quick, man, because I don't see you without her or her without you. And I just want to yo, that shit is beautiful. You know what I'm saying? That shit is fucking beautiful, man.
Right.
Yeah, I tell them that all the time, man.
Because I honestly, yo, I don't see y'all not together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And yo, that shit is fucking beautiful, man. And y'all union speaks. It don't even gotta be spoke on. You know what I'm saying? Because it's already y'all walk in the room together. It's already solidified. You know what I mean? Y'all come together as one.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
You know what I mean? And I see it already. You know what I mean? That shit is fucking beautiful.
And Baltimore raised us all. So that evolved into what it was. It was just because of the fact that when I was young, I got off into sports and a lot of other things. But because people thought I was cute, I got off into modeling. You see what I'm saying? But at the same time, I always end up getting into fights for somebody thinking I was soft, not knowing that I grew up on Edgewood and sold drugs half of my life.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? So
Right.
and it was people like her to help me to calm my attitude because I always felt like I was ready to check somebody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, when it came to the business side of it and when we got off into, the comedy and all those things, it was you know what I mean? I still was treating it like it was street. You know what I'm saying? So I laugh and joke with everybody else, but when it came to the business, I'm ready to beat niggas up.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? We do jokes and stuff like that, and I hear other comedians on the other side of town doing the jokes that we wrote with my brother and Chitty and all these other, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm ready to go beat somebody up.
Absolutely.
And,
you essentially the Charlie Murphy, the Debbie
right.
Adams.
So, and I had to learn to tone that down.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and for me to be able to do that, it took sensible people to be there every single day because of the fact that, I knew I couldn't do it on my own.
Yeah.
Right now where I'm at in my life, I'm not that same guy that's really just snap on everybody. I laugh at most of the folks, most of the stuff now. So, you know what I mean? But when it came to us dealing and helping in the community, that's something that was always a given. You always had to play this part because, and also it's like when you hustle, they told us to buy these properties and buy this to turn your drug game around to wash your,
to wash your money.
So, well, what you was doing, my father told us, boy, just the same thing you got to do with your spirit. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, man.
Boy, you doing the stuff you doing out here, then you got to play a part in cleaning up. You see what I'm saying? If y'all was out here partying all nigga, I shouldn't see the bottles and shit all out here in the street from y'all party last night. Clean it up.
Right.
That's the problem that y'all with y'all generation. So in that one breath, it made me recognize that even if we out here hustling, we got to make sure everybody got tennis and for first days of school. We gotta make sure everybody eat, and we gotta, you see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And the guys that was older than us from the other generations did the same thing.
Absolutely.
It was Rennie, you know what I'm saying? You own the downtown culture arts center. A lot of folks were coming at us thinking that was our building. No, that was the uncle building. You see what I'm saying? And he gave us the opportunity to manage it while he managed other properties.
Wow.
And then we started to pull in all of the other guys who we knew had clout.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't have a bunch of money. As I said, y'all, I'm gonna see if I can talk Black and them do their shows down here.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna holler at Black Johnny and them because he plugged with them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Make it a family thing. Everybody from all these parts of the city play their part down here. And we rarely had beefs and stuff like that. We rarely had any of those issues. So, you know what I mean? Same thing. When the pandemic hit, we already had these joints where we was giving out food and clothes and stuff. You seen that stuff.
Absolutely.
But when the pandemic hit, the food bank.
The sites closed down.
So
a lot of the sites closed down, and we knew that it was still a need, for the food. So we stayed open, and we are still thriving now. There's hundreds of cars that pulls up. The food drives at 11 o'clock. We have people lined up at 9 o'clock.
Yo, look, y'all, like, whatever I can do on my end, like, to help promote it. Like, if y'all need, like, if I can make a flyer, like, whatever, like, I don't care if it's monthly, like, whatever it is, like, whatever part I could play, like, please let me know.
Oh, absolutely.
And we'll, you know what I mean, like, we add on the promoter, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. No, that's a blessing, bro. You know what I mean? And
that's
really.
My bad.
No,
That's
go
every
ahead.
last Monday of the month.
Every last Monday of the month.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, that's perfect.
Yep, 4003 Liberty Heights on the corner of Oakfield.
Yeah.
Okay, absolutely.
I be trying to get her to talk more because she was more, back in the day, she always seen she was standoffish. I don't want to talk to her. I don't trust niggas. People ain't serious. But no, that's why I used to always say, no, she's security. Like, you know what I mean? But, even when we was doing the shows, she identified certain things that us as men just not going to always see.
Right.
You got to have the sisters there and respect their position and respect their word.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? Because, it was like when we was doing the stage and setting up everything for the shows and stuff, and I'd be like, yeah, it's done, everything complete. And everybody be like, yeah, that's good. She'd look up like, nah, hell no. Look at all this shit. You can see the wires hanging up there, and it's just not tidy. Like, it don't look neat, and they made us look at it from a different perspective.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And which I always just valued her opinion, and years later, we ended up in a relationship like this.
Yeah.
It was like, it wasn't the plan.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Bro, I was like married, and you know what I'm saying? Had another whole, she was in another whole, like, you know what I mean? And it was like, as all of those things grew, other things fell apart.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And everybody's lives, you know what I'm saying, aren't meant to be together forever.
Right.
And sometimes that we gotta just respect that enough and respect each other enough. Because, it was an old head that, I ain't gonna say old head, OG, a wise man, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm going back and forth with my ex at the time, you know what I mean? We good on good relations. I'm not thugging nobody. It ain't none of that. We all good. But it was just like, bro, like, you're trying to force something y'all already did what was supposed to be done. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I mean? Now y'all roles is to be the greatest parents that your children could have.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But when you're trying to force her to be a type of way, she trying to force you to be a type of way, that's not how neither one of y'all got to even fall in love with each other.
Right, absolutely.
And then now that y'all are growing out in different directions, respect that.
Right.
And allow each other to grow.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And I had to look at life differently. Because, you know what I mean? And my girls live the best life ever.
Yeah.
Because, you know what I mean? They get the best of all of us.
Yeah.
And they're highly educated. Like, my oldest daughter graduated with her bachelor's degree at 17.
That's awesome.
You know what I'm saying?
That's awesome.
My Empress, the main knucklehead of them all, you know what I mean? Had me grade whip her behind. At the top of all her grades, she at homeschool because she works 8 hours a day now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In the prosthetic dentistry office.
Yeah.
She makes the dentures
Awesome.
and gold teeth and the
Awesome.
stuff she want to do. And she interested. She there on a dime. Like,
Right.
you see what I'm saying? So, and my youngest daughter is just reading on the 6th grade level and she in the 3rd grade.
Awesome.
So it's just like, the thing is like the biggest issues that we have is trying to make each other be what we think we. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not about what we think as individuals. It's about where we try and go as individuals.
Absolutely.
What the future gonna look like. Allow us to do that.
Got any questions right now?
Oh yeah. I just want to say salute first of all, and
Salute, big bro.
Hello.
from afar, I appreciate what you're doing. I appreciate what you're doing for our people. I'm number one on as far as Black empowerment.
Yes, sir.
I got a good question for y'all. As far as Baltimore area, like that DMV area, I just noticed a lot of
Oh,
a lot of
hold on.
a lot of.
We Baltimore is not including the DMV.
I mean, my bad, my bad. I mean,
DMV.
Baltimore, but
Yeah,
all right,
that's
my
the
bad.
thing.
Baltimore.
We decided that personally, though, man. It ain't nothing like on the map legally, like on the
Yeah,
map
Yo,
and all
my
that.
bad.
That's cool.
real
My
shit, yo.
bad.
But we
I used to
decided that personally.
I
You
used to
good?
live in the DMV, yo. Shout out to DMV, yo. But I was a Baltimore
I meant
nigga
to-
living there though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. It's a
yo,
different culture.
we Baltimore is not including DMV, yo. Like, just for the record.
Yeah.
No, I was saying Baltimore and DMV because I was mentioning.
Okay,
I
all
was
right, my
gonna
bad.
mention.
My bad.
Yeah,
My bad, bro.
because I was mentioning how it seems like a lot of our master teachers is like connected to that area.
That's
And
right.
our brother mentioned that earlier that his his parents was into it
Mm-hmm.
and how deep rooted it is in that area. And also I was just wondering from after he said that, like it seems like a whole in that area. And I
Mm-hmm.
mentioned DC too because Neely Fuller Jr. That's where he lives at. And
Mm-hmm.
that's somebody that I admire a whole lot, and he teaches us about
Mm-hmm.
the being on code.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just wondering, there's something about that area. That's why I linked both the areas because, Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, she was
Yes, sir.
familiar with around that area. So
Yes,
I was
sir.
just wondering, what do y'all think it is about about y'all, the people down there, our people from down there that seems like y'all surrounded by empowerment. I was just
It's
thinking about that
mm-hmm.
as you was talking.
Yeah,
But
no, man. That's a major, and it's crazy. That's an excellent question, big bro, because I've heard that only from a handful of folks that really know the history and the culture.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's an excellent question, but it really comes from the collage of black culture that happened in this region. You know what I mean? For really, I can say hundreds of years. You know what I mean? Because when you look at the history, you know what I mean? There were, of course, we know that there were black people here first that were already here.
No
There were
question.
already cities. There were already towns. There were already, you see what I'm saying? So these groups of people already had a certain identity. You know what I'm saying? So, and when I go and I rap with a lot of folks, I gotta always point out, like, yeah, when you look at the numbers of the slave trade and all of that, there were black people that were brought here. But when you look at the numbers and calculate them, it was about 300,000 that made it here.
Right.
There were millions that was taken.
Facts.
Then the rest of them went to Europe and went to the islands and
exactly.
South America and all these things.
Exactly.
But you know what I mean? When they documented the number of folks that they saw here, they said on this continent on this island is 7 million. It was on this spot, it was 2 million. Over here, they said in North America, there were 111 million black people already here.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So, and when you look at that and how they started to die off from disease and illnesses and all these other cultures of Europeans started to pour in and prey on us.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So, you went from being black Indians to being called Seminoles. And then Seminoles turned into, which
Negroes.
primarily, turned into Negro.
Right.
But the word, but Seminole
Seminole,
primarily
that's what it
means runaway in all actuality. It means runaway, a runaway slave. You see what I'm saying? They was documenting the people that they were trying to capture into the slave trade that wouldn't go without a fight.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So these groups of people also, in the North and in the South, divided through these slave trades and all these, that collage of people, ended up in Maryland, Virginia, and DC mainly because of them fighting the slave trade underground and during the day trying to fight in office. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
It was the last remnants of these different families of people that were just compressed together. They weren't the individual tribes no more.
Right.
They weren't. They were just black people.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And everybody taking whatever bits and fragments of knowledge and history and culture that they had, they were taking it to the North, where they can kind of, invest time in knowing ourselves again and learning and, studying and, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And I learned that coming from Dr. John Henry Clark.
Yeah.
Because he said as a kid, he worked with Schomburg and helped build the Schomburg Library.
Yeah.
And in Harlem.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? He was telling us who we were before we were called, Negroes.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So, and even still, that term like I hear a lot of us saying Moors. You know what I'm saying? And the Moors, because we're becoming more conscious of Moorish laws and all these things that were here prior to Europeans. But that was still a description.
Yes.
Moor was still a description of a group of people.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Because and because of knowledge and us becoming in love with ourselves, I'm not knocking anybody's religion, cultural belief, any of that. But the word Moor goes back to the Kemetic word, the Egyptian word mer, which we still use today as mayor. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Those same words, you know what I mean, they used to describe the people that were ruling the ports around the world and ruling the main continents in Europe.
Right.
Moors. Around the Mediterranean, Moors.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But they were significantly pointing out the darker groups of original indigenous people on every continent.
Right.
That's a problem for our movement around this planet.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
The people that came from all of these different groups of black people, you know what I'm saying, ended up in that region because of the fact that they were fighting the powers that be that were stemmed all through the first 13 colonies all across the Americas from that space.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And prior to Europeans, in that same space, there were groups of black people that were there that used those spaces as their capitals.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You know, it's so much history that's here and the more that I got pulled into these different organizations, the National Action Networks and the NAACPs and all that, I started to recognize that a lot of this stuff is pulling us away from what Dr. King and all of them were fighting for. A lot of it's pulling us away from, you know what I'm saying, our original authentic selves, to the point where it's this big divide between people don't know if we black, if we Negroes,
Absolutely.
if we indigenous, if we don't. You have to embrace all of it.
All of it.
Because all of it is us.
We was never just one thing.
No.
It was never just one thing. You know what I'm saying? It was always
all of it.
It was always variations.
Bro,
you know
you'll see me one day, I could look like I'm wearing a Moorish outfit, for another day I look like I'm wearing a Cherokee outfit.
Yeah.
Because all of it is in my bloodline.
Absolutely.
I got my family that's Masons and all of that stuff, you know what I mean? Because they were raised with the Moorish laws and all this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. They knew all of this stuff. And then I got my family that's on the other side, that's in Virginia, that still live on the land that my indigenous family fought for.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So, and then at the same time, all of us are still connected through those families. Through some way, somehow, we're all still related.
Right.
That's why all of that region is so powerful. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? There was a lot of bloodshed. It's a lot of, and when I talk about that indigenous sides, and I know I'm jumping all over, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying?
I seen a TikTok reel, that revealed that Lord Baltimore was a Moor.
Yeah. But see,
you know what I'm saying? I had seen some shit. I posted on my IG.
This the thing, bro. This the thing. He wasn't.
Okay.
These were proximities. These are people that were capturing your systems and making it their own.
Okay.
So, you know what I'm saying? Lord Baltimore came from a family of all white guys.
Okay.
You say all white women.
Okay.
And see, the thing is that picture was, if the sister read the description, it said in the picture that this is taken and is in the Lord Baltimore's art collection.
Okay.
The guy that was in the picture was actually what they call a Munich.
Okay.
He was the head of the Munich.
Okay.
He was the one
He was castrated.
He was castrated
yeah.
because he was the one that watched over the Sultan's women.
Okay.
So, but by that being a part of Lord Baltimore's art collection, instantly people thought it was Lord Baltimore.
Gotcha.
You see what I'm saying?
See, that's why you.
And this the thing.
That's sharp,
even
bro.
with the term Lord, only comes from that old European way of describing who controls the land.
Status, right.
You see what I'm saying? The people that controlled the land and had to pay the taxes of the land to the royals or whoever. You see what I'm saying? The
Right.
government that's where we get those terms from. Landlord, the people
Yeah.
who lords over this, that we got to pay tax to them. They got to pay tax to them. Everybody, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So
real quick.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Real quick. Shout out to the God Knowledge Born. Appreciate you, brother. Shout out my bro Sean, man. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate y'all, man. Yeah, big shout out to y'all. And yo, keep going, man.
I get into a couple different debates with bro, and I stopped trying to look at it as a debate and really try to conversate with folks, because we can't debate about stuff we don't know.
Right.
If I don't know what this brother's talking about, I'm going to take in and do some studying and then research. When I be telling folks this stuff, it's like, yo, I'm not here to debate with you.
Right.
I've learned from master teachers. I learned from going to Coppin State University.
Right.
I learned community redevelopment through Dr. Morgan up at Coppin State University.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? I didn't graduate from Coppin because the streets took over.
Right.
I had to play my part.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But at the same time, you know what I mean? It was all these people who got the information. You know what I'm saying? That's on deck, bro.
Yeah.
The information there. And it's like right now, I be looking at a lot of those videos and people, and it's like, y'all are regurgitating a lot of the same stuff that we already found to be false.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? These people already wrote about themselves. Let's go back to what they were talking about. Let's start there. But I hear a lot of folks, we were the original Jews. Then, okay, then go back to the source, because that's not what they called themselves.
Right.
These people came in contact with them and they took on that culture and called themselves that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So they were called Phoenicians.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? They were called the Canaanites.
Right. Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? You ever heard of the Punic Wars?
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? That's what the Romans came in and conquered that region and took all of it and came back with Christianity.
Right.
Let's go there, family.
Right.
But stop debating with folks over stories that they made up.
Definitely.
You see what I'm saying?
His story.
Yeah, and that's what I see going on a lot of times, which why I fell back from doing it. You know, back in the day, I was on all the networks, and it was just like, yo, I feel like we chasing our tail.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let's just take a couple dollars and a little bit of time we got and invest in getting the community back together and God, honest truth, yo, it's not hard to get on, family.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, real quick. You know what I'm saying? The fastest ways to get on. First, have something good. I don't care what it is.
Get out of the horn, bro.
I don't care what it is.
Get out of the horn.
Respect everybody's criticism of what you think your good is, so you can make it better.
That's a fact.
You see what I'm saying? Then take that thing and you take it to every goddamn town that has an open mic if you rap.
That's a fact.
You take it to every goddamn city that has an art festival and to display your art. You got to invest in that time. That's how you get on, family.
Right.
I don't care how many YouTube videos you do. If niggas ain't never seen you on the other side of the world, how they know to come click on your YouTube page?
You definitely told me that.
You know what I'm saying? Because look, tell you, that's why I brought my young boy with me.
Hey,
because
you definitely told me that.
Right.
Definitely told me that.
Get in the lab. I don't, if you're nicer than everybody, then every track that's out right now, kill it. So we can move around this city and then move around this country and you shit on everybody with that shit.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
You see what I'm saying?
Getting into B-bars. Tell the people about yourself, man.
Yeah, man. My name B-Balls, Baltimore bred, the infamous. I say that by myself. They don't put the infamous in front of it, but I do. Yeah. As of now. I guess today, I guess. Yeah.
You're officially the infamous today.
Yeah, the infamous B-Balls today. You feel me? I guess, yeah, y'all should have heard. But, yeah, new mixtape dropping, half and half joint. As like I was saying, Big Bro always motivate me, always tell me, Wayne, he always let me know all the time about it. And yeah, keep my mind focused too, because I be off balance, man.
How long you been rapping, yo?
Man, I've been doing this since probably about, I ain't gonna lie, this is a crazy story, right? Listen, when I first started doing the music, it's because Comp. Baltimore's own Comp.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
The man with the hands. Shout out Comp. Shout out Comp, big bro. So his dad was coming around shopping his mixtape off. Mm-hmm. And I was just sitting on my step. I was living on Monroe Street, like Monroe and Mose, Emerson Avenue, the hood, that type of shit. Yeah. So I'm sitting on the step, and he just give me one of the tapes. So I take it in the house, I'm listening to it, and I'm like, oh, shit, I'm about to start doing this shit too. I'm like, I would have just switched the word around right here. Literally, that's just how it was. I started listening to it, and I'm like, man, I would have switched the word around right here, and I would have said this. Mm-hmm. And next thing you know, man, I did a mixtape, man. My grandma was my first fan, man. She used to listen. Man.
Shout out grandma.
Yeah, she used to listen to the stories, man. Well, actually, she used to watch the stories and listen to my mixtape with the volume all the way up, with the volume on the stories.
That's what it is, yo. That's what it is.
Real shit. My first, she the one always told me never stop, man. So that's why I keep,
Yeah.
keep it pushing, keep doing what I do. But right now, I'm working on about 3-4 album projects coming out, man. It's a show coming up, Old Town Mall. If y'all hearing this, then I need y'all to come to it. You feel me?
When is it?
The 21st.
Okay.
May 21st, coming up the Sunday of the 21st. You know what I mean?
Now Old Town?
Yeah, Old Town Mall.
Okay,
all
that's
that.
what's up. That's
Shouts
good,
out AO Boutique, everybody. You know what I mean?
Nah, that's what's up, yo. Shout out to that. Shout out to that.
Shout out, you know what I mean? Rattle all my peoples down there. I just holler at him real quick. Big bro, let me get on. Yeah. Just like that. It's just that simple for real.
Nah, you got a flyer or whatever, bro. Shoot it my way, I'll promote it.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Got you.
I definitely promote it. If I could pull up, I'll definitely pull up. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like,
and I've
bro,
been-
that ain't
and-
about nothing, bro.
Absolutely. And truth be told, man, I've been doing shows with the likes of Comps and the Riff Raps and all that. Like, ever since it was crazy, Fake How that was my first thing I actually heard to start doing the music and all that. And then I did his birthday. Like last year, I was doing the shows and shit. I did his birthday party and then another showcase joint after that. Basically, it was a connection from my man LaVar, Mr. Run Tell That. Shouts out to bro.
Okay.
Shouts out to bro. Man, Mr. Run Tell That, all that, the peoples, you know.
DJ, what we looking like? They on time? You still got another 30? All right, bet. That's a bet.
Yeah,
all right,
yeah.
say less. All right, man. So listen. What's the name of the mixtape?
Mixtape is gonna be called Half and Half.
It's called Half and Half.
Yeah, Half and Half.
All right,
You
got
feel
you. Half and Half mixtape, yo.
Yeah,
Is that
Half
gonna
and
be? Is that gonna be on like all streaming platforms?
Yeah, it's definitely going there for real because I was basically looking at it like this. I gotta pick an angle to attack the game first.
Okay.
If I put them in the chokehold, I
got you.
bring them in some way. So
Hey, it's always good to have the appetizer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's always good to
yeah.
give them an appetizer. First.
absolutely, I got project at the project, at the single song, club hits.
Yeah,
I
bro, just been on
always
this
do
game.
shows.
Yeah.
Yo,
Yeah.
You know, I'm proud of bro. You know what I'm saying? Because it'll be a lot of
Yo, I
other
seen that clip
situations.
you had posted, bro. I was like, yo, this nigga rocking. Yo. I was like, yo, rocking. I was like, yo, bring that nigga.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
it's like, yo, you be killing, dog, and a lot of times we don't get that support. So when I seen what he was doing, you know what I mean? Well, really, I heard him because, you know, honestly, bro got hella talents.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This motherfucker right here, man, this nigga can remodel your whole house if you needed it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Put carpet in, everything.
Right.
So shout out to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like,
That
you not.
way.
Like,
Real
you know what I'm
shit.
saying?
Wall
Wall frames,
frames.
all
And
that. Yo.
right.
Yeah. So it's crazy because, like, I always, before we go to try to get any big major contractors, I try to go through the hood first to make sure my brothers that's doing that, I holler at them first.
Yeah.
You know, so another OG, you know what I mean? Shout out to brother Spike, you know what I'm saying? Coleman and Coleman, you know what I mean? Home Improvement, you know what I mean? He had Tate, you know what I mean, killing with him. And I call him Young Tate because I know him from when he was a little boy.
Yeah.
Running up and down the block, you know, knuckleheading, you know what I'm saying? And then when I seen him as a grown man, I didn't even recognize he was such on this grown man game. This nigga doing drywall and shit. And then he turned around, I'm like, yo, I know them from somewhere. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then I heard him spit. It was just crazy.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, it's like, I lost like that edge that motivated me. You see what I'm saying? Because it was two brothers that we were pushing that I lost to the street. I ain't gonna say I lost, Baltimore lost.
Yeah.
That was on their way. Signed deals and you know what I'm saying? And hearing Tay, you know what I mean, it really sparked that energy in me to, you know what I'm saying, really get back behind a lot of these young artists. When you keep seeing these young artists die and you putting love and sweat and tears behind them, bro.
Absolutely.
Like this.
Peace.
Yeah. You know they got kids and like, Tay, kill something, man. Just start spitting on them, man. You just tell you when to stop, man. Just go.
You got some shit. You got some shit. You got some shit, right?
Yeah,
all
I
day.
got some shit on that.
Already, man. Let's hear something, man. You want a beat or you good?
Throw a beat on for me.
Got you.
Yeah, man, because my man just be knocking, and there's so much rich talent in Baltimore.
It's a
diamond.
law. So it's a diamond mine,
You know
bro.
what I'm saying? So, you know, and that diamond comes from all of the pressure
Absolutely.
in this
That's
city.
a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a
And
fact.
there's so much energy, negative and positive.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's so much history, negative and positive. You know what I mean? And when you're able to put that, you know what I mean, behind on a mic or behind a paintbrush, you're gonna come up with something magical.
Yeah.
That way.
You know what I'm saying?
That way.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I just be trying to keep the bros lit, man, so they can
Nah,
produce
man,
the
that's
best
what
of
it is. Like, yo, I be trying to tell people all the time, yo, I'm like, yo, like, I used to do like, it's funny, yo, we was talking about like niggas imitating, you know what I mean, and taking from you. Like I did a whole nother like show before I started this. Like this is my second year doing this. But I did a whole nother platform for like 5 years. You know what I'm saying? And like was interviewing everybody. You know what I mean? Like all that type shit. But after I left and started this, like niggas was watching what I was doing here, taking that.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Always,
like,
man.
yo,
Always, man.
yo, niggas like, yo, no, yo, my brother, yo, my man, I started this shit with my man right here, yo. Like he even here, he day one. Like he'll tell you, like, yo, I interviewed some of the biggest artists. Yo, niggas was on this shit like, what the fuck is a Melvinaire? Or what, you know what I'm saying? What the fuck, you know what I'm saying? Niggas, people see what the fuck I'm doing. Like, niggas trying to make their set look like mine. Niggas trying to make their content look like, but see, the thing is, yo, like, when you got Blue Magic, you got Blue Magic, bro. You know what I'm saying? It can't be, it can't be duplicated. It is what it is.
It's like we were saying earlier before we got on. It's been an original.
That's fact.
And you forget that when you get caught up in the game because you're trying to fit in,
right?
And make everybody comfortable with you. You don't want the response of people saying, "I don't like this song," well, "I don't like that." Well, that was cool. You just want everybody just to agree,
right?
You see what I'm saying? Absolutely. And that's not what makes you number one,
right?
You know what I mean?
See, like, yo, if the people, like, if you don't got if the people don't fuck with you, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like I feel like all of this shit in my son name for real. Like everything, anything on this bitch, like this the company, everything for my son for real. Yo, by the time I feel like niggas is gonna catch up to what this was really supposed to be, like for where like us as a community supposed to be, I'm gonna be old, bro. I honestly feel like that. You know what I'm saying? When niggas be like I'm a big Howard Stern fan. You know what I'm saying? Like, is he a racist Jew? Absolutely. He a fucking racist Jew. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. But for the way he shifted the culture and the way he shifted radio, his influence and the things that he tried first and did first and succeeded, regardless of how you felt about it, it was a success. It was success.
Yeah. And he made everybody had to change the game.
Everybody had to follow up after him. That's why I say everybody, Howard Stern is the GOAT. You know what I mean? Like, you can't change. He's the GOAT of radio. But I was like, man, I wouldn't do that. But I feel the same way. Like, yo, the shit that I do, like, I don't need nobody that went viral. You know what I'm saying? I can go viral from my conversation. You know what I'm saying? And that's just real shit. My conversation can go viral, bro. Like, I don't need nobody with no notoriety. I can interview a bum off the street, I feel like. You know what I mean? And have a conversation of pure gold.
That way.
That's what this shit really. That's what this shit about. Like,
I
don't talk shit, bro. Yo, a lot of y'all podcast niggas is recycled, bro. Like that shit be boring. Look, y'all be having no substance to nothing y'all fucking talk about. You know what I'm saying? Y'all niggas don't have no validation to anything that y'all do. Y'all don't put in no work where y'all from.
Nothing.
Nothing. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, and that's what it all got to go back to, yo. The work. You know,
it always goes back to the work, bro.
Because we constantly giving, the next generation examples of fuck shit, of sucker shit, of thinking that you got to sell out. You thinking of, like, we were just talking about that. It's why the game is messed up. Because people say they go in the game and got screwed. Why? Niggas was going in the game getting screwed 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago.
That's a fact.
You see what I'm saying? And early on, me and my brother, he was like, agitated about a lot of stuff because he like, yo, why these people on and why they ain't better than us, bro? And and I was like, yo, you gotta keep it real, Desi. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you wanted to be on some bitch ass shit with yo and them and the, you know what I'm saying?
You could do
what they did to get you where they are.
Yeah.
You know that's the door. Right? That door is still open for you.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? How bad do you want it?
Right.
Or how authentic do you want to be?
Right.
I said we gonna keep going around, me, my brother, and Rashida. And we went and put ourselves on tour.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? We literally took our money and went from one town to the next town to the next town. You see what I'm saying? Shopping ourselves. Same with Jess.
Yeah.
You remember back in the day we was doing the Majority League variety shows and the open mics and all that stuff. That's where that whole culture thing
came from.
The downtown culture arts center.
Yeah.
So then you seen the next generation trying to move on that thing. When I'm trying to tell y'all, yo, you gotta create the next thing.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? They out there and they've been touring since.
Right.
My brother ain't been off tour for 5 years.
Right.
Just ain't been off tour for 5 years.
Get that shit a fucking horn, yo.
You
Shout
see
out
what I'm
to
saying?
bro, man.
They ain't
Shout out my nigga Desi, bro.
I mean, and you know, and he be mad because he be like, yo, they don't be giving us the awards. How they give yo the award? I've been all over the country. This nigga ain't been nowhere.
Right.
I'm like, bro, that's for themselves. That's for them patting themselves on the back.
Yeah.
That's them stroking each other's ego. I don't even want it if it's gonna be on some sucker shit. I'd rather it just be authentic.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying? And a lot of them, you know what I'm saying?
Man.
Yeah, disagree.
See, yo,
you know what I mean?
when it come to a comedian field, bro, like you gotta have that type of comedian. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, Desi is a comedian's comedian in my eyes. He's a comedian's comedian. You know what I'm saying? So like when I think of him and like I ain't gonna put him in the same class. Like I don't want to like try to pigeonhole him like a Corey Holcomb, but like that's a great fucking comparison. You know what I'm saying? Like as far as like he's another nigga. Yo, he refused to pigeonhole himself. Like I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna do this shit how the fuck I want to do it. It's gonna work. You know what I'm saying? My people gonna support me, and that's that.
I mean.
Like,
and look, I had to tell him because just like when we had to get on the road, he was like, "No, yo, we gotta own the city." Fuck these cute ass glasses. But yo, he was like, we gotta kill the city and we gotta do this, and that. And I'm like, bro, check this out, my nigga. Everybody here ain't fucking comedians,
right?
So everybody not gonna make it to every show.
Right.
We gotta go to every town to hit and dig into all of those audiences.
Right.
And that's when we really started to spread ourselves out. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of the times we fail to realize, like, we be like, yo, niggas ain't supporting us. Everybody can't, yo.
Right.
We in Baltimore.
Right.
Take your thing and take it to the next town. You know, my brother Relly, you know, shout out to Relly. He got his a book out. You know what I'm saying? He been moving from town to town. You know what I'm saying? He making himself a millionaire because he done sold 20,000 here, and then he going to the next city and doing the same thing.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? We keep just beating ourselves in the heads with why this ain't gonna work and why the man this and why the man that. With the stuff like we got Dofield redeveloped.
Yeah.
I'm a brother from the hood. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to figure out why the money that's supposed to come from our tax dollars to keep our community up ain't keeping our community up.
Right.
So, you know, I talked to all the community organizations. Oh, it's the system and the man, and they can't, and they're going to stop us from doing this, and they're going to stop us from doing that. And I went back and forth up there with the city trying to see what needed to be done. And I sat down with one of the dude, Hayes. What was it? You remember?
Chad Hayes.
Chad Hayes.
Okay.
From the city planning department.
I remember him.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I asked, and then I talked to the people in the Jewish community. Yo, how did y'all get this? And I sat and had meetings with all these folks. And a couple times I put in the forms they didn't go through. And then after going, been doing and clarifying and fixing and editing, I got the money.
Yeah.
And got it redeveloped. The whole thing is that they can't get past their own feelings, their own egos.
Right.
Every time we sat down to do anything, all these niggas did was argue and bicker with each other. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? So it was just like, the problem is us.
Yeah.
How you gonna blame the city all these years since 1978? Y'all didn't get the money to redevelop the schools and all this stuff because yo, I don't like them and they go to that church and they go to that school.
Absolutely.
And we went to Forest Park and they went to Emerson and they went to. It's all this little dumb ass shit.
Absolutely.
It's just why our community suffers.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? You can blame the politician that all you want, but you know what I'm saying. When I call certain politicians, they answer.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And there was times that I didn't agree with them, and I say with things I don't agree with. But that doesn't mean that they the devil.
Right.
That don't mean that we can't fix it.
All right. Speaking of politicians, so I interviewed Brandon Scott a couple years back, like when he first got in the office.
Right.
It was pretty candid, so it wasn't. It was pretty casual, so it wasn't. No, you know what I mean.
It wasn't really no exclusive words.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't like it was just like just pretty regular. Like I like Wu-Tang Clan, and you know,
right.
You know, man, that type shit. You know, so I don't know how I feel about bruh. Like I'm gonna put in perspective. I did security for years, so at that time I was still doing security. I seen bro downtown. Probably like 2 weeks after I interviewed him. And I was like, hey, man, what's up, yo? You know what I'm saying? Like, I just had you on my show, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, scared, like, like, huh? Like, I was like, oh, this thing is a sucker.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, real rap.
Right.
Real shit. And I was like, oh, this thing is a sucker. So,
Right.
And ever since then, I can't front, like, since that interaction, I'm like, bro, I just had a whole conversation with you for an hour and a half 2 weeks ago. You know what I'm saying? And here it is. Like, granted, I'm in a uniform now, but bro, like, I'm like, hey, my name's Jerome. Yo, I ain't had you on. Oh, you was on my platform on such and such. And yo, bro, he ain't have no clue.
Crazy thing is, right? They say he grew up the heights. I didn't.
Yo, I heard. Yo, listen, bro. I tell you, shout out my OG, man. Shout out, yo, my old Muslim brother. Yo. I used to work with this brother downtown, yo, and he was a teacher, and he's the teacher at whatever school bro went to. And he said the exact same shit, yo.
Yeah,
I promise you.
Listen,
when he got
older people
like,
told me, man, I ain't never met the guy or nothing.
He said that nigga was never, you know what I mean? He
no
wasn't
shot to
outside,
him or nothing, but yeah.
But there's
exactly
a
what I heard.
difference. But see, you know, how many times have we moved around this state and run into people that say they from Park Heights? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, my hand to God, listen, my hand to God.
Like downtown.
Listen, my hand to God, this how crazy.
They gonna mention it, though.
Listen, this how ratchet Park Heights is. You know what I'm saying? I was in Nebraska. Omaha, Nebraska, and the dudes was like, yeah, yo, we got this other dude up here that's from Park Heights, the only other dude from Baltimore, right? I said, what? And then when I met the dude, I asked him, I said, yo, what part of Park Heights are you from, yo? He said, he's like, nah, yo, I lived out Harford County. But see, you know what I'm saying? It's like, no, because of the fact that Park Heights' name is just ratchet, like, you no matter where you go.
Gonna question it. Niggas ain't gonna question it.
Yo, my man was just down here, yo. How do I explain Park Heights to you, bro?
It's crazy.
Yo, if you out of town, yo, listen, I'm gonna tell you, if you out of town, you know, well, if you run into a person in your town and they say from Park Heights, say what part?
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
That's what's going on.
And it's going to, excuse me, instantly it's going, you know, change it. You know what I mean? Because there's only two parts of Park Heights. Up top and down bottom.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
You know that.
First of all, when they start with anything else, bro, they bluffing. You see what I'm saying?
I'm from the east side of Park Heights.
I'm from the back side. I'm from the up top. Nah, nigga, you lived in Jewtown. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
and niggas knew where you was from. If that's what you
from. Right.
Yeah, niggas knew where you was from. Like YG from up the Heights.
Yeah, like people know. Like, so the thing is like, it's people from Park Heights that think I'm from Park Heights. Like,
real.
I didn't even grow up with Edgewood. Don't feel like to the death of me. Like, you know, I was rapping my man Donnie. I was hustling up there with him.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So it was just like, because that's where the place where money came fast. You see what I'm saying? And you really had to be about that life to be up there. Because you had to be family in it. You couldn't just step out there, they would stretch you out.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And then for me, coming from the way we was doing things and moving up there, I couldn't fuck with Park Heights. Nigga, like, I'm gonna be brutally honest.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? That running from the police every 5 minutes, no sir. I was like, nah, bro, I'm going back around the way. As a matter of fact, we're gonna go and take this stuff to another town.
Right.
Like, you know.
So let me ask y'all honest opinion. As Baltimoreans, in your opinion, like, I feel like we are like Chicago Junior. You know what I'm saying? Like a diet Chicago. Like, however you want to call it, however you want to dress it. Like on some real shit. Like I feel like you know, you used to hear stories of niggas be like, yo, they left it was crates full of guns on the train tracks. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I honestly feel like for instance, yo, rest in peace, my little cousin, yo, rest in peace, Izzy. Like, I honestly just feel like it's something bigger. Like, yo, granted, yo, when we was, like, I'm about to be 40, bro. Mm-hmm. And I know, like, my era, like, it might have been 1 or 2 niggas with a gun. You know what I'm saying? Out of like 8 niggas. Yeah,
you
know what
I
I'm saying?
remember that. And you knew who that nigga was.
You knew who had the gun and shit. You know what I'm saying? Niggas might talk shit or whatever, bro. But it mattered a couple niggas that had the gun, bro. Like, everybody ain't had no gun.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, all these little niggas got guns.
But that's because, you know, now, you know, you can just go right up the road and get them at one of them gun shows. You know, whoever can grab them at the gun shows can
all of these little niggas got guns,
so,
bro.
You know, but
we still wouldn't say that we had that bitch though. We wouldn't. I mean,
and just
you ain't gonna know it till you know it.
You know,
right? You know, and I carried the gun around with me in my back pocket, a 38 special, for years.
Yeah,
like literally the prints of my back pants and shorts had the prints in it.
Yeah.
And then my brother said to me one day, he was like, yo, how many times did you had to whip it out on niggas in the past 10 to 15 years to use it? I was like, none. Because I'll be willing to fight first.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But the whole thing, he was like, then why you still carry it? I said, because anything could happen at any given time. You see what I'm saying? So we all licensed. You know what I'm saying? You walk licensed to carry, like, because of the fact that we done been through too many random crazy situations.
Absolutely.
So, you know, and real quick, just going back to what you were saying about the mayor. You see what I'm saying? You know, I have my differences of how I think that things should be, you know, ran.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But at the same time, they don't really come from the Park Heights that you know.
Right.
They come from the educated side. He went to Morgan. He was an intern under Stephanie Rollins Blake and all these different things. So you're a different type. You're the I'm Park Heights by title.
Right.
Just like Sheila Dixon. I'm from Fountain. They jump up and then everybody vote. Yeah, that's you my mayor. Regardless of how many times they screw you over.
Right.
They can throw these names up in the air and then you know what I'm saying? And you ready to just coattail, man. So, you know, big bro waving this.
Go ahead, bro.
Oh, yeah. So you know, I'm just trying to make sure that, you know, I can't take nothing away from nobody and what they doing. But I just feel as though if you had some real Park Heights guys that survived it, you wouldn't be trying to put curfews out. You see what I'm saying? You have another whole strategy. You get the brothers that survived it, you get them outside. Because what I recognize with the city, we got to know history.
Right.
And when we know our history, we recognize that when the drugs and everything came down real crazy and the black community recognized that it was the system perpetrating this drug war on our community, then we started to take care of ourselves. We said we could bring the Muslim brothers in, the 5%ers in, and all these other different groups, the Hebrew Israelites in, whatever group of brothers it was that was outside,
right.
They got together and they protected and secured the project.
Absolutely.
They patrolled the streets. They made sure that everybody, you know what I'm saying, got where they need to be. They squashed the beefs and all that. And that's what kind of gave birth to the 300 Gangsters.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Because I always say in these interviews, because people are like, yeah, you the three. Nah, I didn't originate that.
Right.
I was brought to it by Brother Boom.
Yeah.
Who sat me down with Big Wolf with this group.
Absolutely.
And you Bones from that group and another brother from that. You see what I'm saying? To be the middleman so that we can organize something positive.
Absolutely.
Because that's what was the origin of those organizations. So we was just trying to take it back to that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? To support the community that we all came from. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. So we only got like 5 minutes, so I want everybody to get their handles out before we close out. We're gonna close out with the bro, Big Boss. You know what I'm saying? So before we even get started, go ahead, Ronald, get your handle out, bro.
Billy Ray Valentine on Facebook, Billy Ray Valentine _B1 on Instagram, DProgram78 on Twitter.
All right, bro, go ahead, one.
Wayno 300 on everything, man. You can hit us up on our website is thefireguards.com. You know what I mean? Fireguards.com.
Shout out to that.
Rashida?
Yeah, LWD.
LWD Consolidated Trust at Gmail. You know what I mean? Y'all can hit us up on all of them.
Already, man. Yo, we appreciate y'all time and energy, man. This is beautiful, man. Absolutely.
Thank you for having us.
Nah, no problem.
My joint, balls.
You already know, man. It's your boy, man. Rome the Plug. Can't Knock the Muscle _43 on IG. Melvinaire _podcast on IG. The _Melvinaire on Twitter. Melvinaire Podcast on TikTok, man. Yo, fuck with us, man. This is a dope show, y'all. I really appreciate y'all, man. Really appreciate y'all, man. And yeah, man. Be on the lookout for B-Bars. Mixtape coming half and half. And on the way, man. You know what I'm saying? For the meantime, yo, we're gonna leave y'all with this one, yo. Check it out.
Yeah, I hit.
You already know. You already know. Mixtape dropping soon. I say that every time. Speak.
Talking. I be bragging way too often, bitch. Say they did I been, and I am not the type dog, you bitch. Ain't no choice but let me talk my shit, it ain't no clogging it. Walk it like I walk it, but it still seem like I'm jogging, bitch. Hold up, how can I hold up if I be still turn no get no slower? There ain't no way, and I'm stomping them over and do it again. I trample them over. I know they be thinking that I got a motive. I know they be speeding on over the motive.
Kill everything and I don't need a motive. They give me
Bitch, I reloaded. Yeah, go in. I'm going and do it again. I hope you notice. Ain't no so stopping and no other option. I promise the missus is gonna have to grow up. Leaving them doing the photo. I fuck around until too many months. All I keep doing is running score. I do hits like back to back. I hope I don't get scoliosis. Show some hops. Jump on a boat. I'm the wave that they be rolling. Hey, them coat. Hand them a coat. They say V on my bipolar. Get in my bag. Piss on them back. Give me a reason to clear my color. I've been the shit and they still get a whip, so they might as well open the vent before they drop it. There's really no question. Like, bitch, you smell me, so cover your nose when they give me my flowers. Easiest way to interpret a dollar. Always talking how I talk it, and that shit was bound to clock it. Could they say that I'm the one, but I be bragging way too often. Tell that bitch ain't no half stepping, cause my footwork be so awesome, cause I walk it like I talk. Still seem like I'm talking.
Always talking how I talk it, and that shit was bound to clock it.
That shit hard, yo.
Yeah.
That's hard, yo.
Yeah, we on everything, man.
Yeah, nah, that's hard, yo.
My young boy got 100 tracks, bro. I'm trying to.
That's hard, yo.
That's all he do.
This is the 3 times in a row shit right here, man. This is half and half. This is the purpose of the shit, though. It's
Got you.
and I know I'm the one she want. Cause I'm for sure gonna double up. She like a lot and all that fun, and even twice it ain't enough. She want that 3 times in a row, and I'm like Mike up in them cut. Want that 3 times in a row, and I'ma probably make it 4. I'm a dog and they should probably go get Peter on the phone. Ain't no way they won't be right, cause they gon' play them probably wrong. Cause I'm a detrosmetic cat and I'ma leave that pussy so. Yeah, leave that pussy so.
That shit hard, yo.
Leave that pussy so.
That shit hard, bro.
Yeah, it ain't no draft, but she gon' choose it, and I know I'm the one she want. And if it's 5, I can't lie, I'm a dance your double up. She like a lot and all that fun, and even twice it ain't enough. She want that 3 times in a row, and I'm like Mike up in them gut. I'm like, you must be a nympho. She like, right, let's call it ditto. I'm like Kobe, I can't miss her when you know this what I'm here for. Yeah, I'm toxic, but I'm honest. You gon' get a clip for ain't no weight or ain't no break, cause this all gas just like a sicko. She be mad like, what you quit for? I'ma need like
man.
5 or 6 more. It's 2 numbers like some info. If you stand on that like tinsel, she like ghost, so that's a no-no. I'm like, bitch, you know my MO. Tell her, I'ma beat it like I'm Kimbo. Tell her stop
Yeah,
it.
man. Yo, it's the Melvinaire Podcast, man. We catch y'all next week, man.
Make
Yeah.
a page just
Peace
like
and
a
love,
Venmo.
salute. Shout out B-Boss.
You already know.
They thinking she sing alto, how she knows
Nah.
she like a demo.
Yeah, man.